build my gallows and build them high. Makes a long time climbing before I die.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Shortbangers. I'm Matty, joined tonight by Colin. Colin, how's it going?
Good, mate. I am very good. How are you?
Aye, good. Been manic today. Just one of those manic days at work, and just finished, and then jumped onto this. And do you know when you still feel you're like 100 miles an hour? Not it.
No, I've
You
never
look
got.
at okay, you're looking at me going, "How would you get that?" But I'm quite glad for the distraction tonight to come in.
It was good doing it early because we can get away. We're doing it during the middle of the football, but there's games on later, I think. Anyway, yeah.
That's it. And it was a good laugh watching the football last night, wasn't it?
Aye, it was good. Good. I'm hoping for more of the same tonight.
Oh, I definitely. Somebody was saying about, I think it was on Hibs that said there's Scottish football at its lowest ebb. I think it's definitely its most hilarious ebb. Like,
no, I thought it was quite. I wouldn't say low. I was quite high last night.
Same. I was buzzing. So, always good when that sort of thing happens. Right, we'll get stuck into the questions. What will they call? We've got old and new ones in, so just going to start with the most recent and then work back and see how far we get into them.
All right.
Might mix up as we go. We'll see what we're doing. Right. Anyway, first question is from Ladige, who asks, "What's worse, losing the first part of an accumulator bet or the last part? E.g., if the first horse dug team plays a few hours before the final, our day HDT. What's the T in that? Our day time? I don't know.
What was the acronym?
HDT.
And what was the bit before it?
so e.g., if the first horse dug team, HDT, horse dug team. Figured it out myself. I thought it was like an acronym for something else. Anyway, curious idiots, eh? That's what I've labelled as. So, what's worse than if you got a bet on Colin? What's the most annoying scenario to lose it?
I don't often bet anymore, but I have in the past bet. The times I did lose the early, can you put on the early kickoff?
Fail.
And I stopped doing that for a while because I thought that spoils the fucking fun. Like, which is what I suppose the questions get into. Or it doesn't spoil it, obviously, if they win. It doesn't spoil it. if the team at half 12 wins, it spoils it if they lose, and then that's your bet fucked. But there's nothing worse than when you get you're waiting on one team or you're waiting on a goal. Or it's good at the time until it lets you down.
Aye,
that's much worse. So it's much worse than losing the early bet.
Do you think? I think the early one's worse. I think having it, because you've got that hope when you put it on. You think, for it to be fucked straight away. Because there's even been times you think, what if it's worth just putting it on again? But the teams that are left, it's a stupid thing to do because that will go wrong as well. So I would say, wouldn't it go like if there's a weekend where there's a Friday night kick-off or a Saturday lunchtime, I would just leave it off.
Just stick it, just go your 3 o'clocks. Or you could put a 5:30 on, and then that still leaves you with the possibility of having a bit of anxiety during 5:30 to 7:30.
But didn't bet, that's the thing. If you didn't bet, you don't have to worry about it.
We're all moral in that, eh? I mean, we didn't even, well, do they? I don't know. Our adverts don't have betting adverts in it, do they?
No, we unticked that box, I think.
Specifically chose not to put them in. So, not that we're saying we wouldn't bet, because we have before.
Yep.
Not got to be part of their game, are we? Like, did you watch that Merson documentary that was on last year, earlier this year on BBC?
Did I see it? I can't remember if I watched some of it, or because it was criminal what they were doing. In fact, was it? Oh, fucking hell, you have to watch what you say. I think it was Paddy Power got into trouble. It was Paddy Power got into trouble. There was like a known problem gambler. Guy was spending hundreds of thousands of pounds, and they hired a woman to befriend him and convince him to start laying these bets with him. And they kent the issues that he had already, they kent the debts that he'd run up, and they targeted him, got a woman to befriend him, switch his accounts over. It's fucking horrendous. Like, it's so immoral. Apologies for the Paddy Power if it was the name, but I'm fucking sure it was.
But they start punting adverts to you, like, when they know like they know the details of your account and start chucking you free bets and all that. You're clearly addicted.
Aye.
That was that one with they can do a test and test on how bad you are. And like Merson came out as like a fucking equivalent of a psychopath, like
Fucking hell.
in gambling terms, because he was betting on everything. You know, it was like there was just numbers spinning around like a puggy.
Aye.
And he was like fucking all in red or sort of thing, or all in whatever it was. And he was like, he couldn't stop himself trying to beat this machine. And he was like, came out all fucked. But he's just, I mean, it's just shocking. It's just horrible. But same with any addiction, I suppose.
The thing with the machines,
it's something funny. It's something funny.
They're all designed to make you lose your money. That's the thing about it. It's like that's how they're built to take the money off you. It's not built to make you richer. Anyway, right. Ray asks, why do we use the word birthday throughout someone's life? We have only one birthday. When one is married, one has a wedding day, then subsequent years are wedding anniversaries. Surely we are celebrating people's birthday anniversary. Aye,
that's a good point. Maybe we should send that into, I don't know, the government. Would they be the ones that make that decision? Who do we send it to? Right to your local MP?
Aye, their MP.
Just after you start talking about interest rates, add in the bit about, by the way, why's my birthday called my birthday?
You maybe need to do one of these online petitions that you get like 100,000 signatures and they have to hear it in Parliament. Thing is, it fucks up the song, doesn't it? Like, happy birthday anniversary to you isn't as catchy. It's just happy birthday to you if you were putting it in the song.
That's a good point. It could fuck everything up. See the birthday, as in what you're saying, the day you were born, is that 2 words? But birthday's 1 word.
Yeah.
Like, there's no hyphenation, or it's one full word. So does that make a difference?
I don't think so.
Because it's birthday versus birthday.
Well, no, your birthday when you're born is 1 word.
Is it?
Aye. And then your subsequent birthdays are 1 word as well.
Right, so it's all the same. I was just thinking it as birthday.
And then change it, because they make it 1 word, then they've just dropped anniversary from it.
Aye, because you can't, because it doesn't fit the song.
Well, the French go bon anniversary, do they not? I think, instead of saying happy birthday, I think bon anniversary. I think so. If you're French, text in 80295 or Le 80295.
Raymond asked the question.
Aye, Raymond probably will, Kim.
Aye, you'll Kim. Aye. He already knows the answer. He's just testing us when he fucking sends his
He does. He cleared up the tap thing as well on Twitter. Remember we were talking about that on, was that Longbangers or Extra Time on Sunday?
Was it? Oh, was it?
Or was it Shortbangers? Was it Shortbangers last Thursday?
No, it must have been Shortbangers. But he confirmed it was correct, didn't he?
Aye. Yeah. What was it? Hot water on the left, apart from in your bath, where it's furthest away to stop toddlers scalding themselves, which is, I think, what you had said. I can't claim it.
But the Royal, we Longbangers, the franchise.
Aye, that's it. The curious idiots. Right, Freddie. So the next question comes from one that we were tagged in by Alex. Freddie White said Rangers are getting schooled here, referring to the game last night. Belden Lascar said, where does schooled end and pumped begin? And that's the question. So when's it not a schooling and a pump? It's now a pumping.
I never really used schooled as a term, but to answer the question, I think you can be schooled without getting a score line that's pumping. That's a pumping.
Yeah,
I think you could be schooled. You could be schooled like 1-0, like that game, 81% possession game.
Yeah,
they were schooled that night, but they weren't pumped. I think that's the difference. Played off the park, but didn't quite translate that into a result.
I think where the referee only gives like a sympathy minute at the end. Even though they've used all the subs, and there was like about 5 minutes of VAR check, and they go, how much injury time? A minute, and you go,
I know.
That's
why did they not just say 0, eh? just zero, man. Just like white flag stuff.
Just blow the whistle. It's a shame though, because I reckon if they played another 5-6 minutes, that could have been even more hilarious.
It could have been another one anyway.
Aye. TG Willis says, looking for some holiday fashion advice. Does the team think cut-off jeans are a wee bit camp?
Cut-off jeans. I'm not bothered if they're camp or not, but they're no for me. Like, I'd wear shorts.
What, jean shorts?
Aye, like knee length ones, not like fucking me hot pants. Like I'm not kidding.
Like Kylie
Dukes or something. Right, but fucking, I'd wear like knee length sort of jeans, denim shorts. But I wouldn't wear cut off. Like I'm thinking.
What's the difference then?
Well, I'm thinking they'd be a bit longer. Can you get the 3/4 length trousers?
Aye, so we're just above your shins.
So I'm talking about shorts. He's talking about cut-off jeans. So cut-off jeans are like 3/4 length things, which I always think what you try to do is try to get suntan on your ankles. Thinking what the actual point of them is. So I'm imagining that, and a bit like raggy cut and that, not like squared off with a hem. Like
yep.
Denim shorts are. So that's what I'm picturing. And they're no camp either, like in any way, shorts. But then I don't know, jeans would be either. I don't know. The clothes. So, can clothes make you camp? I don't think that clothes can.
Yeah,
camp, it's the person that's wearing them that's camp, isn't it?
Well, so I think the caveat is saying it doesn't matter if you're camp or no, right? That's
aye, of course.
We're not saying it's a bad thing. If you were to go to your work in a leotard, Colin, you'd probably look quite camp. So, and you're no camp generally. So,
thank you. Is that a compliment? Or is that offense? Is that offense?
No, neither. It's a neutral statement. Neutral statement. But I think if you were to rock up in a leotard, folk would go, "Oh, Colin's looking a wee bit camp today."
No, I think they would. I think that would be the word they would use.
What word do you think they'd use? Ridiculous.
Aye. Like, but he's wearing like a woman's clothing. Is leotard no?
I think clothes are gender neutral these days, Colin. You wear what you like, do you
know? Aye.
Do you think if you did
leotards, no,
somebody would sit you down and ask if you were okay? Do you know, like if somebody would be concerned enough for the fact that you've done it, they wouldn't just think you'd been a bit eccentric. They would be sitting you down saying, "You all right?"
It depends how well they knew you, right? Anybody that knows me would be saying, "What the fuck's wrong with him?" Right? Because I didn't even really participate in like anything like that, like ever have. When there's been like fucking dressing up stuff, it's just no my cup of tea at all. Cause what do you call it? Cosplay.
Cosplay.
So, I think I'd be pulled aside by somebody because it's just totally out of character.
Aye.
But I don't know, it depends on who you are, because you know what folk in call centres and that are like, like they love getting dressed up, Like that's like, they love all that shit.
They don't, that's a myth. So somebody's decided somewhere.
Why do they make them do it then?
Because somebody's decided that they do love it. And it's bollocks. I've never met anybody, in fact, tell I, I've met one or two people who, when it's time to do that kind of thing, they come into their own and they fucking love it. Everybody else, they'd rather be anywhere else. I wish I'd phoned in sick today or taken a holiday or whatever it was. They fucking hate it. I always hated it. It's ridiculous.
And you being a manager at it as well, but would you be expecting you to fucking do it?
You can't opt out as a manager.
What's the worst thing you dressed up as?
I've been a zombie, a mummy one time for Halloween. We work. That
did
was
they wrap you up in the department like for a good laugh and that, or did you go and dress?
No.
How did that guess?
That happened there. That was fun. I'm trying to think what else I've had over the years. Must have erased most of it from my memory, Like
in my old place, I used to sit around the corner, or at one point, not within, because I was in a different department altogether, but we just got housed somewhere. And I was really close to the sort of contact centre. Folk would come in with like the battle gear, like the like they go and do up at Bannockburn, they'll get dressed
Aye.
up and pretend, have a pretend battle, and they would come in and you'd be like, to answer the phones, dressed like that. What are you doing? Like, just the thought was like such hilarity. You just like, fucking hell, man. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Just come in and do your job and go home. If you want to go to a fancy dress party, that's different. Like, it's still not my fucking cup of tea, but I would do it. Like, you know, if it was a fancy dress thing and everybody was doing it, but no, work. Like, I'm coming in, I'm leaving as soon as I can. Like, that's my attitude to work in general.
We used to have neighbours that did that as a hobby. They dressed up as war reenactments, but for like Jacobean times or something like that. Jacobite times, Jacobean.
Aye.
Vikings, you know, fuck knows, but they would sometimes be out in the back garden with a fucking spear and a sword.
Practicing.
Aye.
Practicing running at each other and that and shouting,
pretending, they're an invader. I think it's like the most placid couple you can imagine. Like, my opinion, and I kind of verify, I never watched them practice long enough, but they would probably be the last people I would be hoping would be at my side if everything kicked off. Do you know, if the Russians in that came here, I would be going, oh, fucking hell.
You'd be saying the name of front, no way. You'd be saying, you go and deal with it, you've practiced.
You've got the edge of me here, take a spear, it's your shield.
And run at him shouting, roar. Fucking hell. Fucking mental. Still,
each to their own.
Everybody's in cup of tea, aye, that's it. Carry on.
Have you ever been to watch any of those things, like an old battle reenactment?
No. I've done. We did do the Bannockburn tour a few years ago now. It was quite good. But they never done a reenactment. But there was like the closest you got is it was like you go into a room with loads of screens, and it's all playing Runji and that, and it's almost like you're in the middle of it. But I've not done it. I've not seen an actual physical people dressed up, pretending, other than Game of Thrones.
Does that count?
Well, it's the same thing, yeah.
Aye, I suppose it is. They did it in Dunfermline a few years ago in the Glen. I can't remember what it was, like a gala day. I'm sure it wasn't the actual gala day. By the way, gala days are another fucking waste of time. What's the point in a gala day?
They all live it too waste loading and that.
Get right into
Take the day off work and all that for it and stuff. It's mad.
Aye, never understood that. But anyway, they did something in the Glen and they had an old style battle with folk doing that. I think my neighbours might have been involved in that. They would have been before. They were my neighbours. So I never clocked them. But if they're listening, they can text in 80295. Just put spear.
Nice to see you again. They're still your neighbours, no?
No. They moved. They were the neighbours before the ones we've got just now.
Probably invaded somebody else's house and took it over.
It would be brilliant if that was the case. If they've just fucking paying your rent. What you going to do? I've got a spear. He was dead tall as well. Like, you know, like folk are unusually tall, like taller than John. John's tall, unusually tall with really long hair.
John on here.
Aye.
Like after the disagreement, is it?
He'll not be listening, will he? After everything's kicked off. Well, who cares? Right, Whiskey Craig is what's the best smell?
That's good. What is the best smell? I'm not saying this is the best one, but it's the first thing that came to my head. There are two things have come to me. But I'm sure there's better. New carpet smell, right? Or like when you go into Carpetright or wherever, and you get the smell of them all. I love the smell of new carpet. I like the smell of, you know, the Christmassy smell you get off of the oak, the pines at the pine. Can you put them under the tree and then you get the oil for it to freshen it up? I like that, and then I like the smell of cooking, like garlic and just like all the if you're cooking something in the kitchen. There's stuff. I don't know what the best one is.
Glue.
There's three things. Glue. Well, that's about 80s.
Aye, you get that. That's one that kind of. It's more this year.
We that recently, eh?
I think we did.
Like where I lived in the 80s, you'd walk about and there was all loads of wee bags with glue bags kicking about the streets now. That was before needles. That's how long ago that was.
Did we mention buzzing deodorant cans as well? Mind we used to do that at school.
What they're doing there, eh? Mental.
Aye. It's funny when you talk about smells. It's interesting. You went right to carpet. And that was what you were thinking about. And that's right. Like new car smells nice, or new trainers when you get them smell decent. I think food. That was kind of the first. You go like chippy smells good.
But
it's interesting.
It's always like it's a let down the chippy the way. Like, it always smells better than it tastes. Always.
Chippy smells nice, but fish doesn't it? How's that work?
Well, it's obviously the oil in that you're smelling, the chippy, rather than the fish. Yeah, it's just dulled in fucking grease.
Was it they say if you're trying to sell your home, you're meant to put a pot of coffee on it or bake some bread?
Oh, that's a coffee. That's a good gym. I do like that.
Meant to make it seem more homeless. Anybody coming to view your house goes, oh, fucking hell, I could do a coffee and a sandwich. I'll buy the house.
How much? 400 grand? Perfect.
Excellent.
It's a pound for a loaf of bread, mate, and you get a coffee when you're in Tesco. No, £2, £3.
Well, apparently it works.
What was the worst smell? Was there a follow-up? They did the worst smell?
Nah, but...
Or is it just the best?
Aye, worst John.
I was going to be BO though. Like I'm not. Or one of them's got to be BO. You know, like when you're standing behind somebody in a queue and they've just like absolutely hanging. Not sweat. That BO smell. Can that one
after sweat?
Moving, aye, they're just fucking minging that. Or dog shite. Or spew.
Aye, spew's worse than shite. I think for smells because. If you smell a shite, it doesn't make you need a shite. Or doesn't it for me? But if you smell spew, you think, oh, that's going to make me sick.
Yeah.
And you get that sort of gagging. I can't remember, there was a day I went into work on the bus, and I can't remember if we talked about the wee gadget that sat down next to me when we were on here.
Can't remember.
Just when you talk about smelling. So there's two buses that go from my bit in the morning, hour apart, one at 6:20 and one at 7:20. And it's a great bus, takes you right in the city centre of Edinburgh, so I can just get off the bus, walk down to my work. Bus stop's 2 minutes for the house, so it's ideal. If I didn't get those ones, it's either have to change bus or walk fucking ages. Anyway, you're on the bus, it's quiet for ages, get to Inverkeithing Park and Ride, and this gadget gets on and sits down beside me, and it's fucking right. Like you were talking about that BO smell, like, so you're sitting kind of gagging as well, so I'm trying to kind of look the other way. And he was a creepy looking guy anyway. And then he gets his phone out and his phone's all battered. And he's pretty much for the whole duration of the time that he's on the bus is looking at low grade pornography on his phone.
Amazing.
Just going, he did. It's like it was on Twitter accounts. So he was clicking on videos, but his Twitter feed must have just followed like I think at shit porn. Or
the porn stars or something.
Just whatever. I couldn't get a good enough look at them to also add them to the Longbangers one, but
you can share that with me.
I was like, oh fuck! It was vile. It was like a horrible bus journey because you're like, you didn't feel you could say something like, "Would you mind I can sit somewhere else?" Because you can't really say that to a stranger, and could you stop looking at the grot on your phone?
It's a hard one. I guess you could do it's probably easier to do the pornography one than it is the smell, which is like it's more embarrassing for me. You might just fucking get off the bus altogether, which would solve the smell one as well.
Yeah, I've never seen him on the bus again, which has been good.
You tell you what I've noticed recently on buses. I don't know if it's a post-lockdown thing or something, but there's a lot of folk. Obviously, they try and claim the second seat, by putting the bag down. It's always women. They put the bag down on the second seat so nobody sits beside them. I've really noticed the increase in people telling them to move their stuff a lot earlier. Like no wait until it's the last seat. Just getting on the bus and going, move your bag. That's good. That's come out of lockdown and folk are more brave to say move your shite.
We've all had a conversation about this. So my dad does that. He doesn't put his bag down, but he asks somebody to move. And he says he'd done it on the bus. And he says, it was out of order. And I says, well, was there other seats available that you could have sat in? He says, aye.
Mm-hmm.
I would have just fucking left them be in. I would have just went and sat in the free seat and no bothered.
Mm-hmm.
But if they were doing it, and if it was a choice between standing or asking somebody to move the bag, fucking 100%, I'd be like, can I sit down? But you're an advocate of the approach of just going, fucking get your bag off. Because what's the point? What's the problem having your... If the bus is quiet, put your bag on the seat.
The bus is quiet. I think.
Aye. That was kind of where I was going with. I suppose. So as the bus fills up, move your bag.
Aye, you've got to... you've only paid for one seat, like.
Aye.
So...
Aye,
but I've noticed that on the bus route I use anyway, there's been a lot of folk they just get on. It's like they're just like, and they don't even say anything. They just go, it's fucking magic. Great.
Give a wee clap.
Yes. Getting one of them up the back.
It's funny. I think bus etiquette's totally changed now that folk are sort of post lockdown and can you get back at it?
I don't know if anything else. Obviously, there's folk coming on with BO now as well.
And
porn. Talking about and porn. Forgetting he's not just sitting in the house.
Aye.
He's not used to commuting at this time. He's normally just watching porn on his phone.
I feel that guy didn't look like he was used to socialising at all.
No.
Ken, he's one of these ones you would expect to see on a Facebook group where a bunch of folk outside his house having convinced them to meet them under the premises of them being somebody that done it. He looked like that. Anyway, right, on probably a lovely guy.
On that,
probably a lovely guy. I just done a massive. I didn't care him. I'm not describing him. So you can't tell who he is for this.
Didn't have cut off jeans, did they?
He didn't.
Or a leotard.
He had a leotard on underneath. That's it. Thanks very much for listening. We've still got a few tickets left for our live show, by the way, before we wrap up. You can DM us on Twitter. It's £10 if you're not a subscriber and £7 if you are a subscriber. 28th of October at Easter Road Stadium. We'd love to see you there. There'll be more Shortbangers, plenty of questions, and who knows what other nonsense we'll get up to in the night. So I just give us a shout if you want to come along. And also, if you want to get more episodes, you can follow the link in our profile on Twitter and subscribe. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.
Well, they trailed me down when I broke free. I drank all the whiskey in Tennessee. I don't drink what I know.